Hi. So, I'm doing my psych video on Philip Zimbardo, and I know you were all expecting that I would do some sort of clever comedy act and make fun of him in his creepy child molesting ways, but as it turns out, I'm a procrastinator and I'm doing this at the last minute, so there's no time for creativity. That will just have to wait for the next one. Anyways, so we all know Zimbardo as the speaker in the Discovering Psychology series and as the playground shadow and general creepy persona. But what we don't know is really what he's contributed to the field of psychology other than sexual diseases. Well, his most notable, contribution was the Stanford prison experiment, which was the one, we've probably all heard about it, but it was the one where he randomly selected Stanford undergraduate students and assigned them to be prisoners or guards for like a 2-week trial, and studied the effects on how the either the increased power in the guards in in terms of the guards kind of situation, or the kind of loss of freedom that the prisoners experienced. And what he realized was that given certain situations, people's personalities and personas can actually change, and which was seen with both the guards and the prisoners. And the guards started showing genuine sadistic tendencies, and they were super malicious when before they were just normal, regular people, but all the power went to their head. And the prisoners became super, They were really depressed and submissive and, kind of broken spirits. So he realized that situational factors are huge in determining a person's personality. And so that was the Stanford prison experiment. Where's my notes? And my cat. He also wrote a book called The Lucifer Effect, which discusses something similar, and is kind of about how normal people kind of become evil, so to speak, and what he describes is that outside situational forces, like in our environment or in our societies, can almost seduce the individual into certain behaviors and ways of thinking that are immoral or unusual, and then that kind of builds up on itself over and over again. And a lot of his work actually has like similar themes. He's done a lot of work with researching shyness in adults and children, and actually also, interestingly, he's done a lot of studies that look at how the individual interprets time and how that affects the way we behave and kind of our mental state. And what he's kind of decided or discovered is that time is completely different for everyone. And he calls it, he has kind of this actual test that psychologists can administer to patients that's called the Zimbardo Time Perspective Inventory, and it will actually tell you how you as an individual interpret time, because he believes that temporal orientation has a really, really significant influence on how we influence our behavior in the present and the situations that surround us in the present, and interpret what has happened in the past, not only to us, but in terms of, history and what that means for us. So he's also done stuff with like hypnosis. He's kind of weird. That wasn't that important though. So the main things are just know the Stanford Prison Experiment and the Lucifer effect, and if anything asks you about Zimbardo, just be able to mention he studied effects of shyness and causes of shyness, and temporal orientations for the individual with regards to time. Thank you, and good night. Say good night, Chloe.